into the waiting room. Can I admit him in?
Oh, yeah, just let him in, yeah.
I'll let him in.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. That's it.
There we go.
There you go.
I'll just...
So Mike Finnick's joined the show, lovey.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. What are you getting those glasses out for? Oh, they're bigger ones. Jesus. We've got 2 bottles this time, you see. Yeah, usually when we just have the 1 bottle, we usually have a drink every Friday night. It's usually 1 bottle and it's a smaller glasses. Now we've got 2 bottles.
Jeanette on her way with pint mugs.
Yeah, I think it's probably time to finish the water and go into the wine.
I think so.
Yeah, well, we just finished a cup of tea about 10 minutes ago, didn't we? Yeah. So now it's wine time.
What time is it?
It's
Nearly
29 minutes past, so we'll give them a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I always, I'm like this with my students. My students know when to come in when I'm delivering lectures, but I always give them a 5-minute blether time, you know.
Yeah.
Blether to them. I just haver, actually.
Right, switch over to the wine now.
There we go. That's good.
Yeah, so we've got Bill Sampson, Colin Steele, Phil Rook, Kerr Kennedy, and Andy Heenan on the YouTube channel.
Oh, that's good. Excellent.
That's because Phil's still on the G&Ts, you see.
Jesus. Early for gin and tonics.
Oh no, it's never too early. Sun's past the yard arm, so we're okay there.
Right. Thanks, Lovey.
Am I registering here?
Yeah, that's you, Mike.
Yeah, I'm not getting a picture.
You need to possibly click video down at the bottom.
Start video. Yeah.
There you go.
Start video. That's it.
That's it.
Is Sheila with you?
No, I'm upstairs in my hovel. You'll get a most unsalubrious view behind me. Come on. I'm still. Are you seeing me?
Nope.
No.
Oh dear.
No.
Anyway, we're about to start the drinking, so Slanjaba.
Cheers.
Or Egashigit, as I say in Hungary.
Yeah. Oh, for God's sake. I literally only realised I had to install this if I wanted to be on Zoom about 5 minutes ago. Chat.
I had to press the add button at the bottom of the screen next to where other people are.
Get a list of
Participants.
Yeah. No.
Oh, good. Oh, I've got me.
Oh, admit. Graham McAteer, admit.
It claims. Oh, claims I've switched off on video again. There we go. There's not many of us.
There's a whole pile on YouTube as well, Mike.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
Of course.
all my lights are on, but I've got no picture.
Right.
Oh dear, how sad. Never mind. Maybe we should go out and come back in again.
Can the folk on YouTube see the PowerPoint? No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all ready to go. So.
Yeah. The people,
All right, on YouTube.
People on YouTube should be able to see June, myself, and David at least.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're on the one place, are you? Because I can't even tell. Cause I've got no picture.
What's wrong with it?
I know. We can see you, Mike.
Oh, you can see me.
Oh, I can't. Oh, all right.
We can.
Oh, hi. Better stop picking my nose then.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. There he is. There he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his glasses on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying on YouTube they can see you as well.
Let's put them back on. That's it. That's
Yeah.
proof. You can see him.
But I can't see. All I see is the DAS quiz Christmas poster.
Ah, right. I'm not
Yeah.
sure why
Go away, right.
Yeah, it's,
Ah,
you look
we'll work around it.
So there's the view. Will it
Oh no,
click?
no, no! Don't click that because that'll the pictures will get smaller.
All right.
That's
Right.
it. Show all
Suppose
active.
it's,
Let's see.
You get loads of them, little wee ones. You don't want that. You can't see what's
Oh,
happening.
you're
All right.
viewing.
Okay.
You're viewing Graham Young's screen.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, Graham McAteer's here now, so we could start. Sorry, Graham.
Oh, there's
Oh,
Graham.
there's Graham.
There he
Hi,
is.
Graham.
That's it.
To exit full screen, side by side mode.
Catherine's waiting to enter.
Oh, that's my sister.
Was that you? Right,
That's my
okay.
sister. I thought she might want to participate. I haven't seen her for ages.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I've appeared. Oh, yeah, I'm appearing now.
Yeah, I think when we're in this mode, it'll just be like one or two images, one or two people come up at a time, and you'll just cycle through them. And
Yeah.
hopefully it'll be
Oh, Andy.
We've got
handy. There we go.
5 live. Graham's listed at the
Oh,
bottom,
yeah.
but his sounds
Yeah.
crossed out.
Yeah.
It's got a little arrow so that you can see everybody else. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Oh,
right.
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can go up and down.
Yeah.
The thing is, like black magic, this it starts working suddenly, but you have no idea
You're
why.
pulling up the wrong one. Oh, there's Kathleen. That's David's sister.
Absolutely. Crikey,
Oh, hello,
that's nice.
Pam. Long time no see.
Hello. I can't see you
Yeah.
either.
Oh. I think we'll worry about the technicalities
I
later.
can't see many people, but never mind.
You can only see so many.
Well, I'm down to 3 now. What?
You just have to scroll up and down as needed to see it. Hi, Kathleen.
Yeah, but at least we're able to interact here.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. I
Right.
found them. I found you.
Just an opinion
Yeah.
here is that the YouTube was a solution, but not the solution to be going on with. I felt somewhat detached.
Yeah, but well, I think when we just want.
And the
that
last meeting, I
going.
completely forgot about it.
Oh, right. Oh. Well, you can always catch up because it's on the YouTube channel anyway.
All right.
Yeah. So I suppose we should start up. I'll let June do the.
Graham's only visible from his eyes up. Hiya.
Graham McAtee.
Oh, right.
He's hiding.
Oh, the beardy fellow appeared.
Need to
Oh,
oil.
there's Andy.
Going all together now.
As we say it in north of these parts, that's one who of a beard, man.
Are we, is YouTube live, Dave?
Yeah, it's been live for ages.
Oh,
I switched it on early so that we could get the chat on the text thing as well.
Excellent. Is there people waiting to get let in, or can we just start?
Oh, I think you just start, yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, in that case, hello everybody, and welcome to tonight's meeting.
Good evening, Mrs.
Hello.
Chairman.
Thank you, everybody. It's so amazing to have faces. I just speak to myself.
Well-
Normally, it's ghastly. What I can't believe is that we've actually got to the last meeting of the year. We're almost at Christmas. Mind you,
Oh.
having said that, I wouldn't mind seeing the back of 2020, to be honest. But there you go.
Oh,
However, tonight we have something really nice to look forward to, which is one of our most loved events of the year, is our Christmas quiz. And I think that maybe Jeanette will have been really kind to us this year and made it really nice and much easier.
Well, time will tell. It's easier when you're doing the questions, when you're
you're sitting here with all our reference books anyway.
The good thing is, of course, nobody else can see your score. So there is a plus on this lot. I tell you what I am missing is, you know, that big table we used to have with all the nibbles on it that would feed 500?
I know.
Yeah, I've got a packet of crisps and a glass of wine, which is good. But it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
quite-
Bism.
not quite the same, you know.
Well, I had pizza for tea, so that makes up for the fact that I'll not be having it.
But you wouldn't have got the nibbles anyway then in that
No.
case. No.
I miss
So,
Sheila's
I think
sandwiches as
after-
well.
I know.
I think what we have had, though, is a really terrific first half of the winter season, because given the restrictions we've all been under, it's been really excellent. So I don't think we need to dally. I think we should get the glasses ready, pencils poised, and off we go to Graham to present the quiz questions. So back to David to make sure that Graham's all set. And
Yeah.
I've got my paper and my pen here. So that's us.
Well, all the best.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, I think.
That's not good if Jeanette's got to wish as well.
Can I just
Go.
quick request that everybody on the Zoom side, could you mute? Apart from
yeah.
Graham, of course.
Yeah.
Apart from Graham, we'll mute so that when we're clinking glasses or coughing or anything, it doesn't interrupt the questioning. Unless you need to butt in.
Or we just sit and say nothing?
Yeah, well, yeah, if you...
Well, I think I could manage that.
If you just go to the top of your wee window, it has a mute thing on it. So, right, anyway, I'm going to mute now and let Graham take over. So, carry on.
Okay, thanks, David. Thanks, June. And welcome to the DAS Christmas Quiz to 2020. Jesus, 2020. My goodness. Yeah. Now, there's 30 questions, and Jeanette made up the first 29. I made up the last question.
The simple ones at the end.
So, and also I must thank Jeanette because she also typed it all up and put it onto the PowerPoint and set it all up for me.
Oh, was good.
So that was good because I was busy at work and you had nothing to do with sitting at home, did you? Okay. So we'll start with the first 5 questions. So here we go. The first 10 questions are all kind of mixed questions. So the first 5. Question number 1. Name the 2 planets that are going to be in very close conjunction on December the 21st. So the 2 planets that are going to be in a very special, actually, very special close conjunction on the 21st of this month. That's question number 1. Question number 2. What is the name of the latest Chinese lunar mission that just happened this week? Or was it last week? Last week, this week.
Mm-hmm.
What is the name of it? The name and also the number. You've got to get the number right as well. Question number 3. Name the asteroid where NASA has recently taken a sample. Now, this is a horrible question because the Japanese have recently done this as well. It's not the Japanese one we're looking for. It's the NASA one, and it's the asteroid. Name the asteroid where NASA has recently taken a sample. I say recently, I think it's a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 4. Who was the wife of Perseus? Who was the wife of Perseus? And question number 5. What's the name of their daughter? So I'll just go through them again quickly. Question number 1, name the 2 planets that are going to be in a very close conjunction on the 21st of this month. Number 2, what is the name of the latest Chinese lunar mission? Number 3, name the asteroid where NASA has recently taken a sample, and hopefully it will return safely. Question 4, who was the wife of Perseus? And question 5, name their daughter. Right, so I will move on to the next 5. Mixed questions continued. Question number 6. What is the most abundant element in the sun? The most abundant element in our star, our solar system star. Question number 7. Who discovered the planet Uranus? What's the name of the discoverer of the planet Uranus? Question number 8. In what year was it discovered? Question number 9. In which constellation is the Crab Nebula? And question number 10. True or false? The Southern Cross was once visible from Scotland. That's a good one.
Yeah,
That is a good one. So what is the most abundant element in the sun? Who discovered the planet Uranus? In what year was it discovered? In which constellation is the Crab Nebula? And true or false, the Southern Cross was once visible from Scotland. Right, is that okay? Is everybody fine with that?
No.
No. Well, the last one you can either guess, true or false.
Yes.
Yeah. Aye. Right, okay, let's go on to the next bit. Next in sequence. Right, okay. Next in sequence. So it's what is the next in the sequence? So the first one is Mimas Enceladus Tethys. Mimas Enceladus Tethys. So what's the next in sequence? And the next question, I'm beginning to lose count of them now. Aquarius, Aries, Gemini. So what's the next one in sequence? Aquarius, Aries, Gemini. The next one, Pioneer 10, Pioneer 11, and Voyager 1. Pioneer 10, Pioneer 11, and Voyager 1. Next in sequence. Fourth one, dark, astronomical, nautical. So what's the fourth one in sequence? Dark, astronomical, nautical. And fifth one in that group, OBA. So what's the fourth one in sequence? So I'll just quickly go through them again. Mimas Enceladus Tethys, Aquarius, Aries, Gemini, Pioneer 10, Pioneer 11, Voyager 1. Dark, astronomical, and nautical. So what's the fourth in sequence? And finally, OBA. Right, we all right with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, next in sequence continued. Ah, okay. So we've got another group of 5 questions where it's the next in sequence. Right. Earth, Mercury, Venus. So what's the fourth one? Earth, Mercury, Venus. Next one, radiative, convective, photosphere. Radiative, convective, and photosphere. And the third one in this little group, new waxing crescent, first quarter. New waxing crescent, first quarter. Number 4 in this group, Aldebaran Regulus Spica. Aldebaran Regulus Spica. And finally, the 5th one in this little group of next in sequence, and the 10th one of the next in sequence group, Vesta, Juno, and Pallas. So what comes next? Bloody hard, them. They're hard.
I know the answers.
Especially that first one. Well, I know the answers. I know the answers. I'm going to be given the answers. So once again, those group of 5, Earth, Mercury, Venus. So what comes next? Radiative, convective, photosphere. What comes next? New waxing crescent, first quarter. What comes next? Aldebaran Regulus Spica. What comes next? And finally, Vesta, Juno, Pallas. Right. Oh, I like the revolving Earth. That's brilliant. Hey, that Mercury's revolving.
Mercury too. Yes.
Mercury's revolving
Spinning,
as well.
yeah.
Yes, it's spinning. But Venus is
Venus didn't want to.
not. No. Right. Okay.
The lady is
You're
not
really
for
clever.
turning.
You're really clever with this.
Boom, boom.
Jeanette's really clever with this PowerPoint thing. Yeah. Because you did it at advanced level, didn't you? You've got an advanced qualification in PowerPoint. Right, can we move on?
We can move on.
Right, okay, let's move on. Ah, Missing Vowels. What's that program that you like on a Monday?
Only Connect.
Only Connect. Yeah, she's an Only Connect fan. Okay, the Missing Vowels. Here we go. Right, on the top one, the first group of missing vowels, this one here. I don't know if you can see my little white arrow.
Yeah.
A Dundee lady. There we go. So a Dundee lady. So what's the whole thing? You know, you put the vowels in it to get the whole thing. Help yourself to another wine, Libby.
I will do. I will.
Number 2 is very clever.
Eh?
Number 2 is very clever.
Number 2 is very clever. A Galilean satellite. So there's no consonants. Number 3, a popularizer of astronomy. So a popularizer of astronomy. And number 4, 2 bright comets that were seen in 2007. So there we go on that one. 2 bright comets that were seen in 2007. Is that mine, Libby? Huh? And finally, number 5, an extreme solar refractive event. An extreme solar refractive event. So there's the missing vowels. Well, the consonants there, the vowels are missing, aren't they? Yeah, yeah. So I hope everybody knows how this works. You just got the consonants and you got to put the vowels in. And that gives you the answer. So quickly go over it again. So the first one is a Dundee lady. Second one is a Galilean satellite. A popularizer of astronomy. The fourth one, 2 bright comets that were seen in 2007, and an extreme solar refractive event. Right, there we go. So can we move on? Right, okay, missing vowels, right. So this is the last bit. This is multiple choice. So there's 5 questions here. Now, Jeanette did the first 29 questions, and I did the last question, which is the last one on this group. And we'll get to that in a wee minute. So we'll go through the remaining 4 questions that you've put together. Right, so the first one. There was a transit of the Earth across the Sun as seen from Mars in the year 1984. So when did it last happen before that? This would probably be a guessing game to most people. Was it 1983, 1901, 1884, or 1500? Number 2, this should have been numbers, shouldn't it? In which year was the Mills Observatory opened? Was it 1918, 1925, 1935, or 1939? Third question, in which constellation would you find the Saturn Nebula? Aquarius, Virgo, Orion, or Sagittarius? And the fourth question, how long does it take for the planet Uranus to orbit the Sun? 12, 29, 84, or 165 years? So I'll just go through these 4 again before I go on to this last one. There was a transit of the Earth across the Sun as seen from Mars. And by the way, it wasn't just the Earth that the Martians would have seen, they would have seen the Moon as well in 1984. When did it last happen before that? Was it 83, 1901, 1884, or 1500? Second one, in which year was the Mills Observatory opened? Was it 1918, 1925, 1935, or 1939? Which constellation has the Saturn Nebula? Where would you find the Saturn Nebula? Would you find it in Aquarius, or Virgo, or Orion, or Sagittarius? And how long does it take for Uranus to orbit the Sun? 12, 29, 84, or 165 years? So now we come on to my contribution, because you did all the 29 questions, and I've put this last one in, the 30th question, and it's this. Imagine a hole is drilled through the center of the Earth from two Antipodean points. So, for example, Wellington in New Zealand and Madrid in Spain, because they're just about opposite each other. Or to be more precise, Petone, just north of Wellington, where Bill Allen lives, and Atocha, I think it's called, just north of Madrid. They're exactly opposite each other on the planet Earth. Now, supposing you bored a hole that went right through the center of the Earth, and we also assume that the Earth has a uniform density right throughout, so that the center of the Earth is as dense as it is just below the surface. In other words, uniform density. Then what best describes the motion of a particle dropped down this hole? So you suppose you go to the end of the hole and you just let a rock or a stone just drop. How would it behave? 1, would it fall with a constant acceleration? 2, would it move with a constant velocity? 3, would it be a simple harmonic motion? Or 4, would it be a complex harmonic motion? So that's the multiple choice on the 5th question in that group. And that's the final question. So I'll let you think about that one. So imagine a hole drilled through the center of the Earth from two Antipodean points, and assume that the Earth has got a uniform density throughout. Then what best describes the motion of a particle that's dropped down this hole? Would it move with a constant acceleration? Would it move with a constant velocity? Would it move with a simple harmonic motion, or would it be a complex harmonic motion? So there we go. Does anybody want me to repeat any of the questions?
Would it do any good?
well, I'm going to go back to the beginning anyway.
Yeah. Just wait and see if any of the YouTube people want anything repeated. There's lots of questions about the dropping things through the Earth as to whether it's assuming the Earth is rotating and.
Oh no! Well, imagine the Earth static, just static. It's a static ball, and it's got a uniform density right through the center. Yeah. So the density of the Earth is constant all the way through, and you bore a hole right through the Earth, and you drop a particle. So how would the particle behave as it's falling down the hole? Tell you what, I'm needing to go to the toilet. I'll be back in a wee minute.
Oh, thank you for sharing. That's the sort of question that appears on, I think it's a New Scientist as the last word.
Oh, yeah.
Silly questions, where one of them was, if you're to bore a hole in the Earth's surface, this is where you've got to suspend belief. And you imagine at the Marianas Trench, the deepest part on the Earth's surface, and you imagine there's sort of an infinite sink underneath, and you let the water drain out, what would happen? It's quite interesting. No, they go through the whole scenario, because you'll get landlocked sea areas that become landlocked as the level drops. And the wag who compiled it said at the end of it, this will all be called New Holland.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
You remember that one, yeah. Because the Dutch, of course, that's what they do, reclaiming land. But you have got to suspend belief. You're assuming that basically it's on a tabletop and it's just draining simply.
I think you should be thankful Graham didn't take the PC with him.
What are you whispering?
Just be thankful Graham didn't take the PC with him when he went.
Oh, one of the Leslie Nielsen films, he does that. He goes off to the toilet with his microphone on. Are there any children watching this?
I don't know. We're not strictly adults only on the
No.
thing, so, But,
They either know what I'm talking about, in which case it's too late, or they don't know what I'm talking about, in which case it doesn't matter.
I don't
Right.
think we need any questions repeated, apart from Andy saying he would like them all repeated. But
Right, okay, shall I go back to the answers then?
yes, rewind, and we'll see how many we
Right,
got
okay.
wrong.
Oh, this is the end bit. We wish you a very Merry Christmas and all the best for 2021. Oh, take care, stay safe. Good luck. Thanks for putting that in, lovely. That's great. Right,
And the old gits are going to get their injections before the younger ones.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
So right, let's go back to the beginning. I'll
Scroll up,
scroll up. Yeah. Well, actually, I'll go into screen save. There we go. Screen. There it is. That's better. Oh, wait a minute. How did that happen?
Yes, we've got a picture of your screen there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
go
it.
down to the bottom again.
Right down to the
Or,
bottom.
yeah.
That's it. And we can go backwards, can't we? Like,
Or,
look,
yeah,
look,
okay.
like this. Look,
Right,
see,
okay.
see that? See that? Look, see, that's how it works. Brilliant. There we go.
There we go.
That's it. Okay, right. Let's go to the answers then. Look at these two down here. This is brilliant. Look at this is Jeanette. See that one? That one's rotating. See that? See, it's going round and round. It's got a spot, but that one's not. That one's not rotating. That's
What's the
Saturn.
rotation speed of Jupiter anyway? What's its day?
10 hours, I think. About
Yes,
10
it's
hours.
bloody fast.
10 hours. Saturn's about.
Differential, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So there's Jupiter and Saturn in conjunction, you see, and that's the answer to question 1.
Got one.
Name the 2 planets that are going to be in a very close conjunction on December the 21st.
I wondered if you were giving away the answer there.
Yeah, yeah. It's Jupiter and Saturn, and it happens every 20 years. And this particular one is very, very, very close. It's 1/5 of the diameter of the moon apart. And the last time the 2 planets were as close as that was 400 years ago, at the beginning of the 1600s, or maybe the late 1500s. So it's visible. It's visible in the twilight after sunset. So it's worth looking out for. And let's hope it's clear on the night of the 21st. And apparently, through a reasonable telescope, you'll be able to see Saturn and Jupiter physically together, the Galilean satellites and Saturn and Titan. And in fact, their extended satellite systems actually intersect.
Oh.
They're so close together, they actually intersect. The satellites that are farther out, the faint ones. So very interesting. Anyway.
Because you realise you're incredibly confusing to the ignorant here.
Well,
Don't the moons bump into one another?
Well, yeah, it's a line of sight effect.
Yeah, it should be good photo opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great
clouds
photo
ever clear.
Well, I'm going to try for it anyway. And yeah, but Saturn's almost twice the distance away, you know. Anyway, what is the name of the latest Chinese lunar mission? It's Chang 5.
Oh.
CHANG-5, I think.
Apostrophe E as well.
Yeah, there's apostrophe on the E as well. Yeah, but Chang, if you just write Chang 5, you've got to get the number though. 5. It's number 5 because the other one. What Chang 4 was that the one that went to the far side?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Number 3. Name the asteroid where NASA has recently taken a sample. I've actually forgotten.
Bennu.
It's Bennu.
Bennu.
It's Bennu. Not Hayabusa or whatever it's called. That was the Japanese mission that went to Iko Takatawa or something like that. That's more recent. That was a trick question, wasn't it? It's because the NASA one was just a few weeks ago. The Japanese one was just recently. Who was the wife of Perseus? Anyone got the idea? An answer? The answer is Andromeda.
Yeah, well, I know that from the Clash of the Titans. He gets away with a girl in the end.
That's right, Andromeda. And name their daughter. Oh, sorry, beg your pardon. I've got it the wrong way around. Cassiopeia. Beg your pardon.
I've got it the wrong way around as well.
Oh, the wife of Perseus is Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia, the queen.
Oh, bum.
And their daughter is Andromeda. Yeah, sorry about that. Bloody hell. Okay, so Yeah, who was the wife of Perseus? Who was the wife of Cassiopeia? And named their daughter Andromeda. Right, okay. Oh, mixed questions continued. What is the most abundant element in the sun? Hydrogen. Hydrogen. And it will be for a very long time yet, thank goodness. Who discovered the planet Uranus?
William Herschel.
William Herschel. It's got to be William, not his son.
Or his sister.
Or his sister, yeah. In what year was it discovered?
Can't remember.
No. 1781.
Oh, right.
Oh, God. Only 50 years out.
Yeah, 1781.
Give or take a year or two.
Yeah, 1781. If anybody got a year either side, that'll do. 1780 or 1782.
Just the 1 year either side.
Oh, yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah. In which constellation is the Crab Nebula? The answer is Taurus.
Taurus.
Yep, Taurus the Bull. A lot of people think it's Cancer. No, Taurus the Bull. True or false? The Southern Cross was once visible from Scotland. The answer is true.
Yeah, I thought it was one of these sort of things that you wouldn't put the question in unless it was true.
Between 12,000 and 13,000 years ago and 12,000 and 13,000 years' time, the Southern Cross will be comfortably visible from Scotland because of the precession of the equinoxes. Apparently, when Sagittarius is in the position that Gemini is in now, you see all those rich constellations that are just below Sagittarius, such as Centaurus and all those, Carina, and and including the Southern Cross. So
is it quite low on the horizon down south? In that case,
the Southern Cross, you've got to go to North Africa to begin to see it. You can't see it.
So it's already quite well down on the horizon in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the circumpolar constellations from temperate latitudes in the southern hemisphere, but you can actually just about see it from Morocco and the Canary Islands, just. But as I say, 12,000 years ago and 12,000 years' time, it'll be visible quite easily from Scotland. It'll be about as high as Lepus is just now below Orion. So, yeah. So the answer is true. Next one. Right. Mimas, Enceladus, Tethys, Dione. Now, these are the pre-Voyager moons of Saturn. Before all these tiny little moons were discovered further in by Voyager, and also the co-orbitals were discovered of Tethys and Dione, and the outer ones. Back in the good old days of the 1960s and 70s, Saturn had 9 moons. Was it 9? Yeah, 9. Mimas, Enceladus, Tethys, Dione, Rhea, Titan, Hyperion, Iapetus. I forget the Phoebe, something else in Phoebe, I forget. And so the fourth one in the sequence is Mimas, Enceladus, Tethys, Dione. I've got to go through them to get them. This rather reminds me, I know that Colin is in tune as well just now. It reminds me of 1984 when Colin Steele and I were coming back from the BAA out of London meeting, and we were sat opposite people on the train, and we were just saying the satellites of the various planets in order without a conversation. So I just said, I went Mimas, Enceladus, Tethys, Dione, and it sounded like a foreign conversation. The people were looking at us and they thought we were foreigners, Greeks or whatever. It was really weird. I don't know if Colin remembers that. But that was back in September 1984. Yeah.
Colin says dumb on the chat on YouTube.
We actually changed trains in Newcastle. Well, it was in Durham out of London meeting, and we changed trains in Newcastle, and we went for a pint, and I was wearing my kilt, and I had my dirk or ski and do, and this guy came up to me and started asking about it, and oh dear, what's going on here, bit of scary stuff. That was Newcastle.
Aye.
I'm sure Colin remembers. Anyway.
He does. He does.
He does. Next one, Aquarius, Aries, Gemini. Well, it's the signs of the zodiac going backwards, but skipping one. So the answer is Leo. Because if you're going back, you'd be Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. So the answer is Leo.
Yeah, but Cancer.
Pioneer 10, Pioneer 11, and Voyager 1. Well, these are the spacecraft that flew past Jupiter, and the fourth one was Voyager 2.
Yay.
So Pioneer 10 flew past Jupiter in 1973, Pioneer 11 in 1974, Voyager 1 in 1979, and Voyager 2 was also 1979. Voyager 1 was March 79, and Voyager 2 was, I think, the summer, around about July. So there we go. Dark, astronomical, and nautical. Well, this is to do with twilight, really. So it's civil, civil twilight. If you go the other way, civil twilight is the brightest, then you've got nautical twilight, then you've got astronomical twilight, and then after that, when the sun is sufficiently below the horizon, it's properly dark, according to astronomical ways of thinking. OBAF.
Oh, be a fine girl, kiss me now.
That's right. That's right. That's what Patrick Moore used to always go. Yeah,
That's a polite one, anyway.
Yeah, I can think of loads of them. I remember somebody did a list. I think it was, I can't remember which journal it was in, a list of loads and loads of these things, and they got naughtier and naughtier. as
Yeah, well, you should try the cranial nerves. Look up mnemonics on something like Wikipedia. Look up cranial nerves. It starts off on old Olympus, towering top, a Finn and German viewed some hops, which is optic, ophthalmic, ocular, trochlear, trigeminal, and so on, things like that. But there are some alternative names for some of them, for some of the nerves, which you can turn it into really quite rude. And highly sexist, I should say, of course.
Yeah. You got to be careful nowadays what you say, especially nowadays on things like Zoom and all the rest of it. You never know who's recording this. You know, this could be recorded by Microsoft. You know.
Well, it's getting recorded. You can see the flashing red live sign in one corner.
Yeah. But Microsoft could be keeping all of these things and using them. You know.
Yeah. They'll be Bill Bates will be blackmailing you.
Has anybody got an answer for the next one? Earth, Mercury, Venus?
No.
Mars.
I just put Mars as random.
Mars.
Yeah.
You're actually
Rocky
right.
planets.
You're right. It is Mars. It's not to do with rocky planets, though, but although it's indirectly to do with that.
True.
These planets are in order of density. So the densest planet, I'm on about the major planets, not lumps of rock, small asteroids of that. The densest planet is Earth at 5.55. And then we've got Mercury, which is only slightly dense, slightly less dense, at 5.53. And then we've got Venus at 5.3. And the next one is Mars. I think Mars is about almost 4. I think it's 3.9 or something. I can't remember. But Mars is the next densest of the planets.
What's Saturn?
Saturn's 0.7. It's the
Yes.
least dense.
It would float in a bowl of water that was big enough.
Right. So Earth, Mercury, Venus, Mars. The next one would be Pluto. And Eris. Eris is denser than Pluto. Eris, Pluto, and then you'd have the 4 giant planets with Saturn at the end. Yeah. Radiative, convective photosphere. Well, the next one is chromosphere. Because these are layers inside the sun. So the central core of the sun is the radiative core. That's where the fusion process is taking place. And then you've got this great big thick belt of gas, which is a convective core, which is where the heat is being, or the energy is being convectively brought to the surface. And then you come to the first of the thin layers on the surface, the skin of the sun. And the lowest skin is a photosphere. That's where the light appears from. And then the next is the chromosphere, which is that orangey, pinky kind of thing. that you can see during a total solar eclipse. So chromosphere is the answer to that one. Now, if nobody's got this one, oh, shame. New waxing crescent, first quarter, and the answer is waxing gibbous.
Oh, right.
Why did you put full moon?
I put second quarter. Didn't have time to start drawing pictures.
Or is full moon? Yeah. No, new waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous. Waxing gibbous is there by virtue of the fact that waxing crescent is there. So it's like different categories of phase of the
It's
moon.
one of these ones you can probably get it eventually if you have time to think it through.
Yeah. Aldebaran, Regulus, Spica. The answer is Antares.
Yeah.
So these are the first magnitude stars that are in the zodiac on the ecliptic, or close to the ecliptic. Within a couple of degrees either side of the ecliptic. There's only 4 stars that are first magnitude. So you got Aldebaran in Taurus, then you got Regulus in Leo, which is very close. It's practically on the ecliptic. As is Spica, that's very close as well in Virgo. And the next one is Antares in Scorpius. There's no other stars of first magnitude. The nearest one, I think, is one of the twins, Pollux. I think it's Pollux, but that's quite far away from the ecliptic. So Antares, there we go. Now Vesta, Juno, Pallas. The answer is Ceres. It's the reverse order of the discovery of the first 4 members of the asteroid belt. So Ceres, Pallas, Juno, Vesta. If you look at it the other way,
Ceres, yeah.
this is what they do in Only Connect. They have the sequence backwards. It really is nasty. Right. Okay. Now, missing vowels. A Dundee lady, Williamina Peyton Fleming, who contributed a heck of a lot to astronomy and astrophysics. Amongst things, she had a massive catalogue of, I don't know what she catalogued, was it? She catalogued something.
Galaxies and nebula.
Yeah. And she's
come up,
she's the discoverer of the Horsehead Nebula, I believe.
Right, yeah.
She's come up in the press in the last year a couple of times.
Yeah. I can't remember what for.
Yeah, she sort of come out from obscurity.
Yeah. So she worked at Harvard, and amongst lots of other ladies, doing all sorts of good things for astronomy. Fantastic work. Discovery of the Horsehead Nebula, the Cuddy. A Galilean satellite. It's blank.
Io.
So the Galilean satellite has only vowels in it, and the answer is Io. Io. That's a nasty one.
That is a nasty one.
Trust you to think of one like that. Gee whiz, God. A popularizer of astronomy. The answer to this one is Carl Sagan. Yeah. America's version of Patrick Moore. And 2 bright comets seen in 2007. McNaught and Holmes.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's that. I'm afraid you got to get both of them for that.
Yeah, I think it was because it was NH, but there's no D.
The N is the and, A-N-D. This is what they do in Only Connect.
Aye, but these have the D as well.
That's bogus.
So the answer is McNaught and Holmes.
I'll have half a point for that one.
Well, if you're going to have and, why haven't you got the D in?
Holmes doesn't have a D in it.
No, you said you missed out the A from the and. Well, you'd have to have the D in there from and then, wouldn't you?
Apologies.
Sorry,
Apologies.
that's Persian.
Okay, you can get half a point.
Persian carpet job. Persian carpets. You know when Persian carpets are actually weaved, they always make a deliberate mistake in them.
That's it.
Because only God is allowed to be perfect.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
No such thing as a perfect Persian carpet. They do a deliberate mistake in the pattern, always. So that's a Persian carpet effect. You missed out the D. Yeah.
We'll
Oh,
get
God,
half a
brilliant.
point.
You were my proofreader, you missed it.
I was the proofreader. Yeah, I missed it. An extreme solar refractive event. The answer is blue flash.
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think quite a lot of people have heard of the green flash.
Yeah.
When the sun, under extremely clear conditions, when the sun is just about to set, you get the last little bit of sun disappearing.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of red, and then that red suddenly turns into a kind of green, and it flashes out before the sun just disappears. Now, under very, very clear conditions, it's possible to get a more extreme version of a green flash. You get a blue flash. And Jeanette and I actually saw one when we were flying over Norway in 2011, coming back from where we were coming back, from Estonia,
Estonia, yeah.
flying back to Edinburgh. We were flying over Norway, and we saw the sun setting in the northwest. And the sun broke up into lots of little red beads.
Oh, wow.
And quite a lot of these beads kept going out with green flashes. And one of them was a green flash and then went back to being red again. And I said to Jeanette, hey, let's watch this one. And instead of turning green, it turned blue. And I thought, bloody hell.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's a blue
yeah,
flash.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do get blue flashes under extremely good conditions. So there we go. Next. Now, multiple choice. So there was a transit of the Earth and the Moon across the Sun as seen from Mars in 1984. That's because the opposition of Mars in May 1984 was right on the ecliptic. So when did it last happen before that? Well, the answer is 1884. Exactly 100 years before. 1884. It doesn't mean that it happened in 1784. It didn't happen in 1784. It's not a 100-year cycle, but it so happens that this was 100 years. It's much more complicated than that, and I think Jean Mears is the guy to see about that. The guy that's into all that kind of stuff, mathematical astronomy. So the answer 1884, and again in that instance, both the Earth and the Moon transited across the face of the Sun. In which year was the Mills Observatory opened? Well, I think most of us know this.
I should know that.
1935.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Which constellation has the Saturn Nebula? The answer is Aquarius. So the Saturn Nebula is in Aquarius. It's a nebula that looks like the planet Saturn. It's kind of like an ellipse with it's a beautiful little thing. Very small. Yeah. Google it, the Saturn Nebula. How long does it take for Uranus to orbit the Sun? The answer is 84 years.
Yep.
Actually, strictly speaking, it's 84.01 years. And it's the only planet it's the closest in resonance with the Earth. So it's 84, or just about 84 years, realistically. So we come on to the answer to my only contribution, which is, imagine that you drilled a hole from Wellington in New Zealand all the way down to Madrid in Spain, right through the center of the Earth. And we'll make an assumption that the Earth's density right through the Earth is uniform. So the center of the Earth has the same density as just below the surface of the Earth, or surface of the under the crust. Then what best describes the motion of a particle dropped down this hole? Right. Well, if the Earth has a uniform density, it means that as you drop down from the surface of the Earth to the center of the Earth, the force of gravity, that's little g, has a linear relationship. Now that means on the surface of the Earth, it's 9.81 or 9.8. And when you get to halfway down, it's half of that, which is what, 4.49 or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, what's a half of 9.8?
4.9.
4.9. So about 4.9. Okay, make the surface of the Earth, we'll say, is 10. Halfway down would be 5. And in the middle of the Earth, at the center of the Earth, the force of gravity is 0, right? Now, if you've got a uniform linear fall in the force of gravity as you go from the surface of the Earth to the center of the Earth, that means you've got a linear relationship between the distance that you're falling, and the acceleration that you will experience. Now, as any mathematician will know, if you've got a relationship where acceleration is directly proportional to the negative displacement, the solution of that differential equation is a simple harmonic motion. There we go. So that's the answer. A simple harmonic motion.
Bingo.
In other words, the displacement as it's falling down follows a sinusoidal relationship. The solution is sine, basically, or a cosine, depending on what your reference point is, whether it's the center or the top. See? Now, apparently, so the answer to that question, assuming it's a uniform density, so that the gravity increases linearly as you get, drops off linearly as you get to the center, is in fact a simple harmonic motion. So that's the solution. However, in reality, as you go into the Earth, it gets denser. And if we assume that as you go into the Earth, the density this time increases in a linear fashion, so that the density of the Earth, say, just below the crust is, say, 3, the density at the center of the Earth is, say, 9, and the density halfway down is, say, 6, and relating it to water, then you've got a linear relationship. That will be the solution of the differential equation x double dot equals minus k times the square root of x, where x is the distance you've fallen. That would lead to a complex harmonic motion because it's a non-linear second order differential equation, which requires a certain kind of mathematical treatment to solve. But anyway, uniform density would be a simple harmonic motion. And what would actually happen if you were in New Zealand and you dropped your rock down this hole in Bill Allen's garden? Then it would fall, assuming it doesn't touch the side of the hole, it would reach its maximum velocity at the center of the Earth, and then it would actually be doing work against gravity as it heads towards Spain. And if you were then just north of Madrid, looking at the hole, you'd see the stone coming up very, very, very slowly, and it would stop momentarily, and then it'll start moving down again. So it'll just keep bobbing backwards and forwards like that, ad infinitum, assuming there's no air resistance. So there we go. That's my contribution.
Right. This is mince.
Well, I got it out of pure guesswork, thinking it must oscillate up and down. So that looks like a simple harmonic motion. So
and it is assuming a uniform density, it would be a simple harmonic motion because of the linear relationship between the force of gravity as you're falling. You know, your gravity is, say, 10 at the surface. It's actually 0 in the middle of the Earth, and halfway down, gravity is 5. You see. And so you've got this linear relationship. The force is proportional to a negative constant times, anyway.
I just keep thinking of the film with Brendan Fraser in it, where he ends up in the center of the Earth. Yeah. And the kid's floating around there.
yeah. There's no gravity. Yeah.
Right, we have a small dispute on question 5, which is the Andromeda, Cassiopeia, Perseus thing. I'm just waiting for Bill to come back with a definitive statement on the correct, because he's looked it up, because he didn't think it was Cassiopeia and Andromeda that way around. Or
yeah, so Perseus's wife was Cassiopeia, and right, okay, we could be wrong then. Yeah, Persian carpets again, lovey.
Nothing coming through yet. Wait a minute, I'm gonna.
Look, the sun's rotating as well. See that? Jesus. That's clever. I can see it rotating. I see sunspots as well.
Well, not definitive, but Wikipedia says that Cassiopeia was wife of King Cepheus.
Ooh!
This is what I thought. I thought Cassiopeia was the mother of Andromeda.
Yeah.
Yes, Do you know what?
But she boasted so
Yeah.
much about Andromeda's beauty that the gods condemned poor Andromeda to be tied to the rocks. And of course, in all the classical pictures, with not a stitch on.
Do you know what?
And then, of course, the
Andromeda.
monster's supposed to come along and then devour her. But then along comes Perseus on Pegasus and rescues her.
That's what
Well, that happens in the film anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, the
Cassiopeia was the daughter, was the mother of Andromeda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. So the question should have been, instead of Perseus, it should have been Cepheus. Yeah, I remember that now. Cepheus was the king. You know, Cepheus, it's like he's wearing a kind of fez thing or silly fez. Yeah, Cepheus.
That's right. Just
Well,
we've got it wrong. Never
Okay.
mind.
Okay.
So what is the answer to question 4 then?
Well, the answer to question 4 would be, well, we've got to kind of, I don't know. Well, Cassiopeia, yeah. I don't know.
Who married Perseus?
Who married Perseus?
I'm looking up.
I thought it was Andromeda.
Andromeda.
Yeah, because he's a dude that comes along on the white horse
Yeah.
and rescues her.
Yeah.
You say
I-
And
that.
then
I-
Medusa.
Do you know what? I think Jeanette did this deliberately so that we could prolong the meeting because she was afraid that the quiz was going to be too short. So
Right.
that we can have a debate and talk
We'll have a
about
debate.
things.
That's right. Yeah.
Perseus's consort was Andromeda, not his wife. Consort.
That's right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, well,
But do we accept in principle the answer is Andromeda?
yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yes!
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I wrote.
Score goes up by 1. I'm needing that. That's what a wasted life watching television does for you. That's was Ray Harryhausen and his stop frame animatronics of the day.
Yeah.
But her daughter wasn't Cassiopeia. So
No,
No,
Andromeda was the daughter of
Andromeda.
daughter of
That's right.
Cassiopeia
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that's right.
uh-huh.
And
or
it should have been-
Cassiopeia.
Yeah, the question should have said Cepheus instead of Perseus.
That's right.
Yeah, never mind.
Never mind. Never mind.
You did that deliberately, though.
I
didn't
did. I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that we could have a debate and extend the meeting, which is what we needed. Because I was wondering what we're going to do after the quiz, because the quiz is too short.
Or we could have an argument about the pronunciation. We did have a member of the society who insisted on calling it Perseus.
Yeah, who was that again?
I think it was something like Mr. Bricknell or something. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
we were having quite a good membership at that time. We were big numbers.
Yeah.
But that was Mr. Perseus. And Patrick Moore was a naughty rascal. I remember him in an interview on the television. He would insist on calling it the Trifid Nebula. Now, classically, it probably should be Trifid, because we talk about tripod. But everybody calls it the Trifid Nebula.
Yeah.
And of course, he called it the Trifid Nebula. And then his interviewer who is then stuck in this dilemma. Do I face him off on this and say Trifid, or do I go Trifid?
Yeah.
He was a mischief. I mean, he still claimed that the moon's craters were volcanic,
Yeah.
but he'd say it with a smirk on his face.
Yeah, he was defiant.
Did it only become Trifid after the movie?
It could well be. Yeah,
Well, possibly John Wyndham. Yeah.
yeah, Americanisms, the film, The Day of the Triffids.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Patrick Moore used to say Sirius and not Sirius.
that's right.
you know.
Oh, aye.
He had his own way. Do you want to unshare your screen again, Graham? So we'll go back to seeing everybody's faces.
Right,
Right,
okay.
okay.
So how do I do that? Stop share. There we go.
Stop share.
There we
There
go.
we go. Hey.
Well, that's better. That's better. That's great.
Oh, great. Hello, Jeanette.
Hi, Mike. Hi.
I can see you up close now. The trouble is, these cameras are not very good quality,
No,
are they?
nice to see you.
Right, so what's the scores on the doors?
Oh, my lord. Oh, I'm looking good. Yeah.
Well, given that my score is better than normal, I'm going to say they weren't made easy.
No, they were difficult. They were difficult.
Very, very difficult,
They were
Jeanette. Yeah.
very difficult, extremely
Very
difficult. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, God.
Alright, so,
Well, what did we all get then?
well, I got 20 and a half.
Oh, good. Yeah.
17 and a half. There weren't any halves.
Well, there was for the comments.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
McNaught.
You got McNaught, but not
On
Holmes.
Holmes.
Then you got
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
half point.
Oh, I get another half in that case if we're splitting the score on that one.
Yeah. So what's your?
That's 16 and a half I got.
Well done. Yeah.
16 and a half.
Anybody else?
So I'll open the glasses again.
I got
Lovey.
19 and a half.
19
Oh,
and a half.
that's good, Pam.
Well, you chat away, Lovey. You're a chatter.
That's low for you, Pam.
Sorry, they were very difficult.
Oh, Jesus. Right, okay, Lovey, pour these glasses.
What's your one, June?
20 and a half.
20 and a half, same as me.
It's an absolute landmark. I've never had.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of years back, I made it into double figures, which was a real wow moment. But a 2 at the front is just, I don't care about the half. It's just the 2.
What did you get?
20 and a half. I'm
Well,
very impressed.
It looks like we've got joint winners on YouTube with Ken Kennedy and Colin Steele both on 24 and a half.
Whoa, well done.
That's good.
Oh, that was very well done.
Yeah.
Fiddle. The two of them have got another pair of computers. They're talking to one another.
That's well done. That is really well done. Oh, Jeanette, thank you ever so much. That is just brilliant.
Well,
That
that's
must
good.
be
Yes,
such a
lovely.
lot of work and all the rest of it.
Fun.
but it's-
No, I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. It was very, very good. It was good.
Oh, it's great fun. It really
I'm glad
is
that you
great.
liked it.
It's
Yeah.
worked better than I thought. You had to do this on Zoom. We couldn't have done this on YouTube.
Well, there's quite a few of them on YouTube.
That's, of course, dissing all the people who are on YouTube.
Yeah, there's another 9 people on YouTube.
How many?
Or 11. 9 or 11, I'm not sure.
All right. Oh, that's
There's two numbers that I'm not sure which is which.
That's been really
Yeah.
It
good.
was actually very easy to get onto Zoom. I just clicked the links and it virtually did it for you. It loaded on what was necessary, and then I just pushed the button and go, and there you were. Well, mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be able to use it in the future. I don't know what happened to Kathleen. She was on, but she
Want to
never
make up the
disappeared.
deciders for the winner. Question for the winner between Ken and.
Well, we could do. We'll have to think of a question, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could just have joint winners.
Just joint. Okay.
Just one joint winners.
Joint
Yeah,
winners.
Jeanette was suggesting a
A tiebreaker.
Yeah,
tiebreaker,
yeah.
sudden death thing. Mastermind.
That's right.
Jesus.
Parts of it.
Resets.
That's right.
Oh, that's perfect. That's really good. And the other thing is that each year the kind of groups of questions are so different.
They're different.
It's-
Yeah. Mhm.
You know, it's really quite fun actually, that, because you can't get used to it, you know?
No, that's right. We try to keep it different, vary it a bit.
I got nothing in the first group,
Oh, I did not bad in that.
and I did pretty well in the second and third and fifth group. You see, so you're right. The different types of questions play to your
That's right.
different strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It's good. And it's so lovely to see everybody. It's so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Isn't it?
It has.
Really is. It's been just great. I mean, I really think that, you know, given the sort of terrible restrictions that everybody is under, the society's done well to keep, you know, the sort of meetings going and everything, you know, online. So yeah, grateful thanks to everybody, that's because some folk have worked really hard to get this
Oh,
going.
yeah.
You know.
I know.
And
I know.
It's been really good, really good. In fact, I feel obliged to have a toast of thanks to a bunch of folk. Principally, obviously,
I've got some
tonight.
flat beer from 3 nights ago.
That'll do.
It's been sitting around on my desk.
I know it's the thought that counts, though. You'll be all
3
right.
o'clock in the
Mike.
morning, last Thursday morning.
At least we don't have to share it with them. But First, thanks to Jeanette, obviously, for all the work and
Well,
time you
Graham
put
as
into
well.
it, because it's
Graham
brilliant.
presented it.
Well,
Yeah.
Graham's
Yeah, thank you.
inimitable style of presentation, we just couldn't do without. There's also thanks also to Graham McAteer, where he is, he's down there, and Dave Patterson, because they put a pile of work into setting up how on earth we did all this Zooming thing and
that was a lot of work.
online work and YouTube channels, which I have to say, if that was left to me.
Yeah, that's much appreciated.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All we had to do was click a link and go.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
And of course, Dave Patterson has this sort of unflappable style when, you know, people are speaking, their mouths moving and you kind of hear them and stuff and you think, oh God. And that's always come good. It's really worked well, hasn't it? That's been superb.
It's cool,
And
yeah.
all the guest speakers who have just turned up and produced all this stuff on shared screens from, you know, any place, their front rooms, attics or something. Just fantastic.
And it is, it's amazing. It really is amazing what you can do.
The newsletter as well, Jim Barber's put a lot of time and work into getting that all collated for us so that that's gone out. Actually, there is one thing about the last newsletter. I don't know if Jim online anywhere.
No, I don't think he's on. He's not appeared in the chat.
That's maybe just as well, because I noticed that underneath the chair's notes on the Christmas edition, there's a wee picture. And it looks a wee bit just like me. It's a wee person with a hat on and specs. And he's in deep trouble when I get to see him next time round. Yeah, big trouble coming to Dobbs, I might say. And also to all the members as well, because, you know, people have been logging on and downloading apps and God knows what else just to, you know, keep everybody together. And so it's just been great. It's just been terrific. So absolutely sincere thanks from, you know, everybody to everybody. It's just fantastic. Worked through, I think, you know, over the piece, it's really been great. Just really great.
Good.
And still, of course, part 2 to go next year.
Right? Yeah, I know.
So when's the next meeting then? What's the date of the next meeting?
15th, I think, of January, which is members' night. And so, you know, anybody, so anybody who would like to put together anything at all, as usual, contact Dave and we can get that set up and get people onto the old video links for that.
Yeah, we've got 1 or 2 volunteers already.
Yeah.
Anybody else out there in YouTube land as well? please,
That's brilliant.
get some ideas in. There's lots of comments coming in thanking Graham and Jeanette for the quiz as well.
Thank you.
Can you read any of them out? Because we don't see them.
No, it's just thanks to Jeanette and Graham for a fun and challenging quiz as usual from Phil.
That's lovely.
And where are we? Great fun, Jeanette. Thank you from Bill Sampson. There's quite a lot of comments in there. I'll have to scroll up and down.
That's so nice of everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Colin remembers that time in 1984 when we were at the
He does
BA
indeed,
out of London, and what happened in Newcastle in that pub. Aye.
What happens in Newcastle stays in Newcastle.
It stays in Newcastle.
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I don't guess we're going to get out of this girdle, you know, anytime terribly soon. So I think we'll be maybe Zooming next year as well. But nonetheless, you know, if it works as well as this, then that's just terrific.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay.
How much was there much extra effort doing this on Zoom rather than on YouTube?
How do you mean?
Well, YouTube was fine most of the time. You couldn't have a sort of running interactive conversation, but it worked from the point of view of the lecturer presenting their work. But you have to have the Zoom if you want, like the chit chat we're having here. But is there much more work involved in setting up on Zoom rather than just doing it on YouTube? I say that's from our point of view.
Well,
it's just a case that, like we saw today, there's lots of people on the screen and they can all butt in all the time. And when you're doing a presentation for a meeting, it's much better if only those who have to be on it are on it.
You can shut me up, in other words.
Well, if you're on YouTube and you're signed in to YouTube, you can get the chat window. If you're not signed in, you don't get the chat window. So you just need to.
I'm just thinking how, you know, up at the observatory, where if the spirit comes upon us, we could get up and wave our arms around anyway, but we don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct. But what happens in these meetings is people don't realise they're making a noise. There'll be clinking glasses, or you'll hear Graham going to the toilet and things, which you don't want to have. So people, when they're at the mill, sit there quietly and are aware of it. When they're online, they're not aware of, you know, they might just have the microphone too close to them and they're coughing or breathing.
Point taken.
And it does disturb it a lot. I've done a lot of these type of meetings, and it is better when everyone's muted, but you can't always guarantee that everyone mutes. Also, it takes up real estate on the screen, although you can switch off, but you have to know how to. It's quite easy.
Can you guys not mute everybody though?
Yeah, we can.
You can, yeah. But to get rid of all the people on the screen, you have to go up and select an option when they're screen sharing it. I can't remember. I think it's hide video panel or something. And if you don't do that, your screen's taken up by pictures of ugly mugs like me. So
the noise actually can be a lot more than the person making it thinks, because I mean, I was on a board meeting yesterday and we eventually had to mute everybody because they were all moving paperwork and you couldn't hear the person who was speaking for the noise of rustling papers. It was quite astonishing that it was so loud, but it was terribly interfering. We have I also do a music class on Zoom, which has a lovely elderly couple who it's their first kind of online thing they've ever done, and they've done really, really well. But they insist on saying to each other, "Do you think that's the right button?" And it goes on like that the whole time. They're very sweet and they're delightful, but they've got no idea how much all this noise carries. You know, it's good.
So when she says to him, "John, stop doing that," he doesn't realise that everybody else can hear it as well.
So we can mute them.
Oh, it's like Joyce Grenfell when she did one of her famous monologues where she's got the room of children. George, don't do that. You never get to know what George is doing.
When I send out the invites, well, I have done on nearly them all, I've always said, if you want to join on Zoom because you're not happy with YouTube, let me know and I'll send you the Zoom link. So I was quite happy for 1 or 2 extra people to come in on Zoom if they'd wanted to. You maybe didn't realise that's what I meant when I was explaining that, Mike, in the email that I sent out. But yeah, there was a thing to say, if you want to go on Zoom, just ask and I'll send you the link. So if next time you can come on and we'll just show you, you can mute your microphone so you don't make a noise, and quite happy for you to be on Zoom.
Yeah, that's good.
I found out we were supposed to mute it eventually on the list of combatants.
Yeah.
I just disciplined myself to keep my mouth shut most of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one in the room. There's no papers getting clanked around or anything.
Yeah, but if you never know when you're going to screech your chair or something. So, but yeah, next meetings we can have you on Zoom instead of YouTube if you prefer that. It's not a problem.
Yeah, the only other thing is the more people you have on video, the worse the responses for people who have not got good broadband.
Take up the bandwidth, yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah, you explained it, that the YouTube is quite adequate for the lad presenting, alas, presenting his piece. But this live interaction is really pretty vital for a meeting like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's the person-person interaction.
It would be good for the members' night as well then, Mike, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, where people can ask a few more questions.
I've gone mad here, Ted. I've gone mad.
I mean, there's no reason why while the presenter's doing their talk, we most of us use YouTube as I've done. Mm-hmm. And if we want to have the Q&A, we can do it through the chat, but there's no reason why people cannot join the YouTube meeting at the end and have a discussion like this.
Oh yeah, the Zoom, jump into Zoom at the end.
Jump in right at the end, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do that from now on, maybe.
Because I mean, there can't be many folk that have got a worse broadband speed than I've got.
That's true.
And it still works, you know.
Do you remember the old dial-up?
Well,
That's what June's on.
I'm on a multiply patched copper wire, very end of.
2 tin cans and a bit of string.
Yeah, I think you need to get.
Or with a plastic cup on either end.
I think you need to get Elon Musk's new Starlink operational in your area, June.
Well,
Have you seen the price of it?
I haven't seen the price, no.
It's
no.
not cheap.
Yeah, well,
But it's not available in the UK yet.
Yeah, it is intended more for governments to supply it to their countries in low access areas. So
But Zoom works
intended
very
for the
well
likes
for
of us.
me. The others don't. You know, WebEx and Teams are just a god-awful nightmare for me. But Zoom really does work. And I mean, I'm guaranteed I get compensation if my speed drops too much below 3. So, you know, yes. But I still manage with Zoom. So I guess there's not a lot of folk that have got any kind of signal that works that's less than 3.
I don't know what my signal is.
See, most of the pictures I'm seeing here, there is just a slight delay, and sort of like it's only doing every other frame sort of thing, that slight jitteriness, but that's quite acceptable because the speech is clear.
Yeah, that's
well, clear enough.
Yeah.
Put down that glass.
I've got mines as well.
You don't want to be putting down glasses.
Yeah.
I've got my chocolate chip cookies as well. Baking.
I'm frightened to eat my crisps in case I deafen everybody.
It's the high frequencies. The cheap ass microphones and speakers we've got, they respond great to the high frequencies, but you don't get the proper quality in the lower frequencies.
That's right.
So that's why the crisps are being heard.
Yeah.
And the crackling bags.
If you're interested,
We're having nuts later.
Yeah, we're having nuts later.
oh yeah, okay.
Peanuts.
If you're interested in finding out your broadband speed, if you go to www.speedtest.net and then just click the button and it will tell you your upload, download and latency. It's very easy to do.
Say that again.
That's interesting.
www.speedtest.net.
Oh, I'll remember that.
The speed test.
I'll try that. I might get compensation from BT if it's only 2.5.
Yeah, we'll remember and save the output.
We just had a huge boost here. They put fibre to the local exchange, and I'm up to like getting something like about 18 megabits now.
Oh, that's high.
Nothing
download.
Yeah, download. Nothing like you get in the city. I mean, at work, I think it was 120.
Mine has compensations because if you're kind of feeling kind of thirsty, you can go and put the kettle on and come back and it's maybe changed page, you know? So it's okay.
I suppose it has its advantages.
Okay, folks. Well, I think I've got a cup of tea sitting around somewhere waiting for me.
Yeah.
Guys, that really was superb.
Yeah, it was.
Really,
That worked
really
fine for
good
me.
today.
Glad to
It
see
was
you
our
guys
pleasure.
again.
Yeah,
Looking
yeah,
forward to
good.
the members' night
know,
in January.
Yeah, that'd be good.
The best to everybody, you know, stay well, stay safe, and well, I guess 2021 doesn't have to go that hard to beat 2020,
No,
but
you're
you know,
right.
all the best
And-
for it anyway.
Well,
Thank you.
when you're all the way down, the only way is up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Always positive. So yeah, all the best to everybody.
okay, all
Yeah,
the
all
best.
the best.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye for now.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye.
See you January.
Yeah, I'll stay online as long as anybody else wants to chat. I'm quite happy. I'm chatting on the YouTube channel as well.
I'm clicking the leave meeting button.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
then.
Bye.
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 Florrie sent her best to Fudge.
Did you see her? I brought her in earlier.
Oh, I missed that.
Did you miss her? I'll see if I can get her back. Hold on. I'll see if I can get her.
It's the dog.
I don't know.
It's the dog.
Fudge.
Yeah.
Fudge.
Pam has a golden retriever who's my dog's pal. They just really love to go walkies, you know.
All right. Oh, nice.
But we're so stuck with all this blooming level 2 and level what's it that.
Look, it's June. It's June.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Here you go. Where is she? It's June.
Hello.
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 There she is, look.
Oh. Oh.
She's a bit confused, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
she's gorgeous.
Oh, I know. Beautiful.
Look it. There she is, look.
Hello, sweetheart. Hello, darling.
She's looking at it. She's looking like, who's that?
What's going on?
I don't think dogs
I know.
are very good with computers.
No.
Mine thinks it's really truly odd that
That's
it
right, I know.
speaks and things. They've been terrible together actually, because they each egg each other on to each devoted owner saying, my nog never does
That's
eggs.
right.
I don't know what you mean, June.
Oh, dear God. Oh, Jinx. I must say I'm really quite, I suppose partly relieved, but I'm really thrilled that these meetings have been so well and so, you know,
You've
just
done
good
very, very well.
quality.
You have. You've kept them going so well.
You just feel, would anybody want to do this when, you know, because part of the fun was going to the observatory, wasn't
That's
it?
right.
And
Meeting people. Yeah.
I just so miss the chat and trading bits of questions and answers and, you know, talking away to folk. And you think, don't know if anybody would want to do this, but actually it's been really
It's
good.
worked. Oh yeah, it has.
It's been
It's
really
worked.
good.
I know.
Oh, thank goodness.
I know.
It would be good. It would be good to go on Zoom after the meetings.
Yeah, I
That's a
think
good
that's,
idea.
that's an excellent plan. Yeah, what I'll do
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
let
How
everybody
is
come
that hard to do, David? I mean, how do people do that? Is it easy to do?
in. If they've got Zoom installed, then what I'll do is I'll send out the link with the meeting info rather than just
Yeah,
the
that'd be
YouTube one.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And say to
yeah,
people,
I think so.
and
Yeah.
then
So
when
what
people
could
want to
go-
join,
At the back of the speaker, we could all have our little comfort break and make a cup of tea
yeah,
and come back on Zoom.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
This
Yeah.
That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. Good.
I
Yeah,
miss
that
not
sounds good.
having all you guys to pick your brains on things, you know, and ask
Yeah.
all my questions and why did that not work? And
I know.
that's the
I know.
usual one, actually. Why did that not work?
yeah, it's good to just chat about rubbish as well.
That's right. I know it's good. I know it's just all the interaction and meeting one another.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
missing old pals, you know.
I know.
it's-
I know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. We could definitely try that with members' night, couldn't we? Because I mean, when we've not even got a guest speaker to sort of say, well, thanks very much. Off you go.
Members' night in essence is just similar to tonight, actually.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No.
basically the same. Yeah.
Basically the same format, so we can do the same thing again on members' night, and I'll wish each other a happy new year.
That's
and all
right.
that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I know.
Oh, Jings. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we'll get out of this before the end of our season in March.
No, I
No.
can't see
No.
it.
There's,
No.
there's
So,
not going to
you
be
know-
enough vaccine around yet, but
Mhm.
hopefully once the summer's passed and 90% of the population's vaccinated, then next year, next October, we'll be all back to normal.
Yes, I'm hopeful that we can get back up to the observatory and see
Yeah.
what's happening
I
there.
think if we're not back to the observatory by October, then the world's in a really bad
Oh,
state.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand. I mean, I think leisure and culture don't have their troubles to seek with trying to open these
Oh, no,
very
yeah.
small old buildings,
It
you
would be
know.
impossible. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you do with the wee spiral stairs and things. I mean, it'd be just disastrous.
Yeah.
And we'd only get about 6 folk in that meeting room that are distant.
yeah.
So
That's right. I know. No, it would be impossible.
yeah. I mean, in some ways, this is better than a halfway house there, you know, but I do miss the observatory.
I do. I know. It's lovely. It's a lovely place.
Yeah.
It's good to go to. But there we go. But we'll get back. We'll
We
get
will.
back.
We will. I know. We'll get there.
this sorted out. Yeah, yeah. Gosh. So do you do this quiz thing kind of like just the month before, or are you looking for nasty questions all year long? Or
No, it was just very recent. In fact, I think it was just last weekend. We started.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
We actually hosted a quiz just 2 weeks ago. No, it was last week.
Last Friday, yeah.
Yeah, we were hosting a quiz with another group of people, but it was general knowledge. And I was doing history, geography, and what was the other thing I was doing? History, history, geography, and science. And you were doing all sorts of funny things.
All funny things.
Yeah, so we do quizzes quite a lot, actually.
It's good. I enjoy them. They're
I
fun.
might give the general knowledge one a right miss.
Science I could probably manage, but history, no, definitely not history.
Yeah.
That's right. Who was before King Thingamabob? Oh, God knows.
I know.
Crikey. No. Oh, Pam would know all that.
Why? Why would I
Yeah.
know that?
Teacher.
Teachers know that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a brilliant
Maybe.
question. I don't know if you watch Richard Osman's House of Games, but there was an amazingly good question on that the other night, which was in 1066, before
Hastings.
the Battle of Hastings,
Yeah.
Stamford Bridge.
who was repelled when they tried to invade England?
That was the Vikings.
Ah, but
At Stamford Bridge.
Who was it?
Harold the First.
Yes,
Harold.
indeed. Yeah,
One of the Harolds.
it was
Yeah.
Harold Hardrada.
Yeah, that's it. Harold. I couldn't think of his name. And that was the end of the Viking scourge.
But that's what a lot of people say. 1066. What was the big battle in 1066?
You know, thinking about 1066, there's two significant battles in England. They always think of Hastings.
Yeah.
They always forget about Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
And you know why? You know why? It's because of the Normans.
That's it.
The
Yeah,
Normans, it's Norman propaganda. They forget about the Anglo-Saxon defeat of the Vikings, which was earlier that year.
That's it. Yeah. Well, that's what they say. History is written by the victorious.
Yes, exactly. So the Anglo-Saxons, at long last, defeated the Vikings at Stamford Bridge, but
Stay
then
online, Pam.
they got defeated themselves by the Normans. It's rather like, what was the great comet of 1910? Everybody thinks Halley's Comet.
No, it was
1910.
In 1910,
what was it again? It was
is it Mercos or something? I can't remember.
I thought it had a D in it.
It wasn't actually Halley's Comet. The great comet of 1910 was another comet that was even more spectacular.
Yeah, it was something like Berkos or something like that.
It was, yeah. I think that's what I thought. Mercos, yeah.
I thought it was a B rather than an M.
Or was it a B, was it? Yeah. Anyway, something to look up afterwards.
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah. So anyway, anybody that's interested in English history would understand that 1066, if they were true English people, of which I'm not because I'm Scottish, but any true English person should realise that 1066 was when the Saxons defeated the Vikings at Stamford Bridge, not the Norman invasion and conquest, which happened later that year.
Did you know that, Pam?
If I did know it once, I'd forgotten.
Forgotten.
So there's me, not a true English person anymore.
Oh, no.
I mean, the tapestry is all balmy.
Yeah, that's Norman propaganda. Norman.
All right.
It's anti-Anglo-Saxon.
Bill Sampson's just sent a message saying best shower of meteors of the year.
Oh.
Did
Sunday
you
night.
know
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Don't know
Right.
what
Geminids, if it's clear.
Actually, that'd be the Geminids.
Yeah, Geminids is on just now. Unless it's clear just now. I don't think it's clear. I'll stick my head out the window.
Not clear now.
Didn't look clear here. It looked terrible.
I didn't think it would because it's
No.
weather's been rubbish all day.
been awful.
I think Bill's on the wine though.
I've still not got my new telescope mount.
Oh
And
no.
throughout the end of summer, I was sort of cursing this and saying, you know, because it was ordered in mid-June. The 17th of June, this thing got ordered, and it's still no here. But so June, July, August, and I'm thinking Mars is coming, anything, and it never ever came. And now, of course, I'm thinking, well, thank God for that, because I'd just be sitting in the house going, I can't see for the clouds, and you know, but that's just so awful because I mean, it really has been bad.
It has. It's been terrible. Last weekend was awful.
Yes.
Awful.
Yes.
Yeah, thunder, snow.
Oh, aye, that was,
Oh yeah.
that woke me up at about 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly that. We woke
Yeah.
up at 5 in the morning too, and Morningfeith. Yeah.
Yeah. I looked on my
Yeah.
security cameras, my CCTV. I went back on next morning, and just about 2 minutes to 5, there was this amazing flash on the video.
It might have set off your security alarm. The security alarm went off at 5 in the morning.
Ah, that would be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
Few
car
years-
alarms going off and everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. A few years back, the telephone post beside me was hit by lightning, and my routers and everything were just fried.
Aye.
And said to the lass who used to live at the farm beside me, I said, I didn't have a surge protector or anything. She said, it wouldn't help. We had one, it was fried too.
I had that a few years ago as well.
Oh,
Just gubbed everything.
Aye, well, I've got overhead power lines into my house.
Aye, so have I.
And a few years back, there was a thunderstorm, and I went out my video. I thought, oh, video this thunderstorm coming down the valley, great. And I was about 30 feet from the power pole that comes into the garden when the lightning hit it. And I'll tell you, I've never seen as bright a flash or as loud a bang in my life. My ears were ringing for about 10 minutes afterwards, and
It was terrifying.
and everything was just fried.
Oh, God, I hope that doesn't happen. I've got high voltage lines all along the bottom of the garden.
Aye.
And that would just not be good.
No.
I got some great video, but as soon as that hit, I was like, right, that's it, I'm in.
Time to go in.
We did a thing like that. The farm keep bulls in the field at the back of my house. I mean, it's only 4 feet or something from the house, you know. And my neighbour came out because the ruddy thing had taken to tossing my central heating boiler up and down. It's an outside boiler. And I'm going, no, shoo, you know. And out came Ricky with a brush with the bristle end out going, go on with you. At which point the bull started doing the kind of,
Oh, no.
and he just threw his brush in the field and ran in the door. I just wish I'd had a film of him. It was the funniest thing you've ever seen. It'd gone from this bravado to
Change his heels.
oh God, oh jeez, oh, it's just awful here. It's like living in a zoo. We've got moles in the garden, bats in the attic, bulls out the back, and it's just hellish.
You've got bats in your attic.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh, no, they're protected as well. You can't
yeah,
get rid
I
of
know.
them.
Mm. They don't do any harm,
No.
but they fly about all the time and crap over everything in the
I
attic.
know.
yeah.
But apart from that, I mean, they're kind of cute.
Mm.
They're just pipistrels, you know.
How long have you had them?
A good few years now. There's a bit where the roof comes down at an angle, and they're just tucked in under the big beams there.
Yeah.
But I have never yet seen them fly out. You'd have to sit outside, I think, for hours and just wait for
Just
them
wait for-
in, this of autumn time when they're active. But I've never seen them all come out. But yeah, they just live in there.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Bizarre.
I know. And moles in your garden?
Yeah, they dig up most of the bulbs and stuff.
Yeah. Oh. They make molehills. Do you get molehills?
Big molehills, yeah, big molehills, yeah. They go. The grass isn't really grass; it's kind of mowed weeds, you know. and it's a semi-metal, so they don't seem to care about that. So they go along the flower beds